This episode is sponsored by Omaze. Go to omaze.com/woodnessgoodness for your chance to win a tiny house.
We're moving our way up in life and on this build. Quick cost breakdown before we keep going. We've got our 4 walls up. I have yet to finish framing out the windows or the window portion of this wall. So I got, how many studs here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 21, 22, 23, 24. So let's say I got 38 foot studs and they cost this much. I got 6 12 foot 2x4s for my bottom and top plates, and they cost this much. I bought the rest of my studs at 10 feet so I can do this longer or taller wall here, and that's how much I spent on the 10-foot studs. I just bought another thing of framing nails. I spent this much on OSB for my floor sheathing. I spent this much on my rigid foam insulation. I spent this much on my rock wool insulation, and I spent this much on the glue for both my rigid foam as well as my subfloor, and then I spent this much on furring strips. We're now going to double check, get everything squared up. I got 8 foot long 2x6s as my rafters, but I realized I might need longer ones because because they're at an angle now with my roof, and I'm not sure if it's gonna lose too much length. What I'll do is I'll add a 2x6 fascia board because everything's gonna be square edges. I'm not gonna have an overhang at all. And so I'll be able to put a fascia board that will tie in all our rafters. And because it's 1.5 inches thick on the bottom portion of our roof, as well as the top here, that will make up the difference that we lose with the 2x6 on this angle. Because you lose length, when you angle up. Let's bring this down so it doesn't break my face. All right, the cabin framing is level and square. When I say square, I mean, it's like one of those squares with rounded corners. Top plates are pretty easy. They just go on your first top plate, and then you put a second top plate. It just gives it more structural integrity, if you were to have a second story on this, but in this case, just the roof, snow load, I don't know, stuff like that. And you can overlap. So because this wall here is pushed up against this wall, my top plate can then overlap, and then you have some really nice strong corners. It's science, really. It comes down to it. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick breather and talk about this video's sponsor, Omaze. Omaze is a really incredible organization that gives people like you the opportunity to win really awesome prizes while supporting phenomenal organizations and nonprofits throughout the world.
The prize that Omaze is going to be giving away this go around is a tiny house worth up to $130,000. You'll be able to work with the builders directly to customize, design, and bring your dream tiny house into reality. The charity you will be supporting while entering for your chance to win is Hope of the Valley Rescue Mission. Hope of the Valley Rescue Mission is devoted to reducing poverty, hunger, and homelessness. They offer both immediate assistance such as hot meals and housing, as well as long-term solutions including health services and occupational support. Annually, the organization provides over 1.2 million nutritious meals, over 400,000 nights of safe shelter, and over 2,500 medical and mental health referrals. Hope of the Valley's Safe Shelter program includes building tiny home villages for those in need, which makes this giveaway especially fitting.
Hit the link in the description below or go to omaze.com/woodnessgoodness for more information. Thank you so much, Omaze, for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to the build. Now that we have our top plates and our walls are square, rounded squares, we're gonna go ahead and cut our very first rafter. Take your square, go square to the top plate, and that will be the beginning of our bird mouth cut. We're not gonna cut any more until we're happy with the first one. For efficiency's sake, I just feel like doing things backwards makes you feel like you're getting more done. So this first angle is the angle of my fascia, or the angle at which my wall will hit. Okay, now that I got that angle, I'm gonna go square to that to the beginning of my wall, which is right there. And then that flat spot will sit on my wall. Let me flip it around. So now we're gonna cut the bird's mouth. And same thing, I'm using this angle now to square up my square, and this is the little bird's mouth cut right here. See how we feel. Just like that. So it works, it fits. Hey everybody. If you're watching at home and you realize that I just did my bird's mouth cut on this wall, and you're like, hey Graham, there's only one plate up there. Well, I'm just testing you guys. Just want to make sure that you guys are in fact paying attention, because I'm not. And so I got to put a top plate on here before I cut a bird's mouth cut, since it'll raise it 1.5 inches. I don't think it's going to be a huge difference. It also reminds me, I just got to finish framing this wall in for the windows. I went to Lowe's to grab a couple items, and I had to find out what windows they actually had in stock, because everything is back ordered. And so they have 36-inch by 60 tall windows. So I'm thinking about putting 2 of those beside each other. So if I have 2 windows at 36 inches, let's draw it out here. So I have 36 inches. I got 1 stud all the way up. Then I have a secondary stud all the way to the header. Then that header also has a stud, and then a stud right beside that one. That's the sketch we're working with. 36 inches plus 6 equals 42 inches. And so 84 inches is what I'm left with. So we're gonna have to move a stud over if I wanna have two big windows right beside each other, which I think I do. I don't really know how to do this math right now. My brain. My brain. 112. So we're gonna measure. Man, I have terrible luck when it comes to window walls. Here goes nothing. This is where I like to use screws. Sometimes it's hard to toenail. There's one new stud. $25.25. We're gonna remove this stud to make room for our windows. This is the new stud we put in. This is the old one. Did I cut it yet? My goodness. Man, these nails really hold it in there. It's pretty impressive, honestly. Now we can frame in everything for our windows. So first things first, how tall do we want these things? I've heard roughly 36 inches is where people have it. Desks are like 30 inches. So let's do, man, science is hard. Let's use our scraps. Those are 30. These all 30? Those are all 30. What if we did 30? I think I like that. Look at that. All right, we're actually going to use the scraps, which are all 30 inches long. The 30 inches is sitting on our bottom plate, which is 1.5 inches, and then the sill for the window is also going to be 2x4, which is 1.5 inches. So that's cool. So 31.5 plus 60 is 91.5. Okay. I just wanted to start it with a couple screws. Plus my arm's getting sore from all these nails, man. Left hand. Mm-hmm. Inch and a half for that stud. Well, I realized my math was probably just a little bit off, but it's not going to mess me up. I'm going to have a little bit more dead space in between the windows, which I think could actually be kind of nice. Because they're very obviously separate windows, so I don't think there's a point in trying to make it look like one big window. I think that's what I was originally trying to do. Okay. Love using scrap wood, baby. Are you serious? Come on, Graham. In you go, in you go, in you go, in you go. End of the day, you know, just starting to really feel it in my body. Never mind, those are way too short. That was close. These ones. Double check, she good? I need a sill plate, but I don't really know if I have any more wood to spare. That's not gonna work. I think we're gonna call it a day. I need more wood and a couple other things I should probably think about.